Hello again. So today I've been doing a little bit of work on something called SpeechBrain. And why am I doing this? Because I haven't been that happy with Vosk. I think that a word error rate of 6 or 7% is just too high. And consequently, I've been doing some more research. And let me see if I can find the. Well, here for example, this is SpeechBrain. This is the code necessary to get it to read a wave, turn a wave file into text, and you can see that here we go from speechbrain.pretrained import encoder decoder ASR model automated speech recognition, by the way, equals blah blah blah. It's 4 lines here, including the the name of the audio file. And you can see down here, it came out with the birch canoe slid on the smooth planks. And here's
The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks.
yeah, that's the file that it was testing. I think that's from the Linda Johnson data set. Uh, so you can see that this is pretty easy to run, and the word error rate for SpeechBrain is supposed to be under 2%. It's supposed to be 1.8 something percent, which is really phenomenally low. Vosk is somewhere like 6 or 7 on the same data sets. So let's take a look at this. First of all, SpeechBrain is out on github.io. This is their main page. And we can go over to GitHub, and we can clone this. I always want the software. And let's go back. And let's open up an X terminal. And I always start off in my code directory. And I do a git clone and paste in that URL. And this, of course, is going to clone this software for me. And then I'm going to CD into SpeechBrain. And then I'm going to do a conda create minus name SpeechBrain. And we have to get Python up above 3.82, I believe. And when we do this, this is actually Python 3. You'll see we have Python 3.9.7. So that's fine. So once we have the environment, we have to do a conda activate SpeechBrain. And I don't need to do it. I have dir env set up, so I have a that's a sudo apt install dir env, and then there's a .env rc file, and that has this layout anaconda SpeechBrain in it. And then I do a dir env allow. And from now on, whenever I'm in this directory, you'll see that I automatically will switch from the base over here into the SpeechBrain virtual environment. So this is very helpful. And let's go back here. let's go to the GitHub again and go into the README and actually find where it says install. And there are two ways to install this. There's the PyPy way and there's the GitHub way. And I think the PyPy way is better because it gives the latest version. So just do a pip install SpeechBrain here. Like that. And it'll take a while. It'll take a while to do the installation. And then you don't need to do this. And then test the installation here. So PyTest. Tests, PyTest -doctest -modules SpeechBrain. And I ran this up above. Let's see here. So this is the installation. This is a pip list. It shows you all the things that have been put in there. And then we ran the test. I ran the test here, and there was an error. Actually, quite a few errors here. And but I interrupted it because I wanted to make sure that I had this export CUDA devices line in here so that it would use the correct GPU in my system. It didn't need to use the GPU though, so this was superfluous. But anyway, when this ran, it ran 100 tests here, 100% of the tests. It came back with an error. Saying that this module wasn't found, this CTC segmentation. So what I did was a pip install CTC segmentation, and it downloaded and installed that. It also collected and installed Cython, which I believe is a database of facts. And then I ran the tests again, and they did very well. 120 passed, 2 skips here, and then I ran them again, and it did even better. 2 skips, 18 warnings here, 2 skips, and 2 warnings down here. And yeah, so this is the stuff that's installed. So if you just do that, you'll have everything you need to start learning this. And if you go back here to the SpeechBrain page, you can click on tutorials up here and go into basics. And you can open this up in GitLab and then connect up here. And you can go through here and run all this stuff. A lot of this is what we already did. And then it explains some of the things you can do for training. And I don't think training is where this should start. I think they did this backwards. Really, what you should look at here is this one. because this is something you can throw right into your code and start working with it right away. It can start taking WAV files and converting them to text. Let's see what this is here. Tensor format. All the tensors within SpeechBrain are formatted using the following convention. Tensor equals batch, time steps, and channels. Let's see what this does here. All right, so this is going to be the 16,000 is the frequency. That's the signal frequency, and I guess that's the number of channels. Yeah, I'm not really sure what this is giving us, other than the fact that this is the format that will be used for, what does it say here? All the tensors within SpeechBrain. The STFT of any audio signal. Four, 11, 201, and 2. Batch, time, channel 1, channel 2, where channel 1 is the feature axis and channel 2 is the real and imaginary part. All right, I'm going to have to learn some more about channels. Luckily, Jan LeCun has a free course from New York, from NYU and New York University, and that goes over all this stuff. So I'm going to have to review that. Well, this is also for training. I'm not really ready to do training yet. What I would like to see is an example of using the microphone. And I don't see it here. It doesn't mean that it's not in one of these tutorials. But this may be more interesting. One of the things that's interesting about this software is that you can take their very excellent model with a very low error rate, and you can do training on that. So you can teach it some new vocabulary for specific use tests. You can get it to learn your own particular way of speaking. If you have an accent, you can train it so that it will understand your accent, etc. So, and it's designed to be easy to do all of those kinds of things. All right, so let's see what else they have here in tutorials. Is that it? That looks like it's it. Just the one page of tutorials here. Now, I did see out here a friend of mine did a video on SpeechBrain. Let me see if I can find it again. That's not helping. Here we go.
Some libraries, which I'm going to show you guys.
Codigo logo. This is my friend Pedro. And Pedro Lima, I think his last name is. And he does set this up using the microphone. And he uses the, let me see if I can find it. Well, actually, he does it with Wave to Vec 2. But I think it's pretty much the same thing. In fact, I believe that the SpeechBrain is actually using Wave to Vec 2. So it may be that this particular video is a way to use the microphone for our purposes. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. But it seems that, you know, he gets a wave file, and then he gets a Pi audio object. And I think that we can pass the Pi. We can either pass the wave file or the Pi audio object from the microphone. Actually, this is probably easier to do with the wave module, Python's wave module. But anyway, this is a little introduction to SpeechBrain. Hope you found it interesting, and I thank you for joining me.